Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, is finally sharing his side of the story. He says they were laying in bed watching a movie when they heard banging. Walker insists he fired his gun because he thought there were intruders.
You all did ask, who is it?
Several times, both of us. There's no response.
You know, the police say that they said several times, it's the police.
If they knock on the door and say who it was, we can hear them. It's dead silent. I know 1,000,000% sure that nobody identified themselves.
He also talked about how he found out about Breonna's death. Listen.
When were you finally told that Breonna didn't make it?
I never really got told, like, directly. I saw it on the news.
That's how you heard Breonna Taylor died, on the news?
Pretty much.
Erica, do you think that this interview will change anyone's minds?
I think that for the most part, people have their minds made up, and mostly those minds are made up based on nothing that has to do with the actual facts of this case. You know, Kenneth Walker is someone who I have felt very deeply for. When his GoFundMe started, I donated because I couldn't imagine what it would be like to think that you're standing your ground in order to protect your family and your home and have something like this happen. It's not uncommon for you to be told, especially during training for guns, that you can and should fire a warning shot just in the direction but not immediately at the person and announce that you're there. So I feel like most of the things that he is saying, he did absolutely everything right. So I think a lot of people's judgments come from their preconceived notions of how they feel about this.
Yes, Erica, because if you just looked at it how a human being would, if you are an armed person like he was, and the police identified themselves, even if you were the greatest criminal gangster that's ever lived, you would know that with one gun, and clearly there are multiple police outside, you would be outgunned anyway. So you would drop your gun anyway, even if that was the case, which it's not. So just in self-preservation, you wouldn't fire a shot. The only time you would fire a shot is when you think that there's maybe one or two people that are kicking in your door at 1 o'clock in the morning, and your life and your girlfriend's life are on the line. That's the only time you would do that.
All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm reading your comments at the same time, and it's polarizing. That's all I can say. To Erica's point, it looks like a lot of people already had their mind made up one way or the other.